Hello everyone. In the last video you had seen about inflation causes, and now in this video we are going to see about the effects of inflation and how to control the inflation and the trade cycle. Now let us see first the meaning of inflation. Inflation is defined as a sustained increase in the price level, or there will be a fall in the value of money. Effects of inflation. Effects of inflation can be classified into two heads. First one is effects on production and second one is effects on distribution. First let us see about effects on production. An increase in the general level of prices implies a decrease in the purchasing power of the currency. The effect of inflation is not distributed evenly in the economy. Under these effects on production, the rising prices stimulate the production of all goods, that is both consumption and capital goods. As producers gets more and more amount of profit, they try to produce more and more by utilizing all the available resources at their disposal. When there is hyperinflation in an economy, the value of currency will get depreciated. So, it discourages savings on the part of the public. When the value of money undergoes certain depreciation, it may lead to drain out the foreign capital already invested in the country. Discourage entrepreneurs to invest. With reduced capital accumulation, the investment also will suffer a serious setback in the economy. So when there is less investment in the economy, it will affect the volume of production in the country. It may discourage entrepreneurs and businessmen from taking business risk. Inflation also leads to hoarding of essential goods both by the traders as well as the consumers, and thus leading to still higher inflation rate. Inflation also encourages investment in speculative activities rather than the productive purposes. Let us see effects on distribution. Under this effects on distribution, first let us see about the condition of debtors and creditors. During inflation, debtors are the gainers while the creditors are the losers. The reason is that the debtors had borrowed when the purchasing power of money was high, and now they are repaying the loans when the purchasing power of money becomes less because of the rising prices. Fixed income groups. The fixed income groups are the worst hit during inflation because their incomes being fixed, and it does not have any relationship with the rising of cost of living. Examples are wages, salary, pension, interest, rent, etc. Entrepreneurs. Inflation is the boon to the entrepreneurs, whether they are manufacturers, traders, merchants, or businessmen, because it serves as a tonic for business enterprise. They experience unexpected gains as the prices of their inventories suddenly go up. Investors. Those who invested in fixed interest yielding bonds will get profit. On the other hand, those who invested in shares stand to gain by rich dividends and appreciation in the value of shares. Now let us see the measures to control inflation. Keynes and Milton Friedman together suggested three measures to prevent or control the inflation. First is the major reason for the causes of inflation are excess money supply in an economy, excess purchasing power in the hands of the public. So, it is important to deal with these factors to bring inflation under control. First measure is monetary measure, fiscal measure, and other measures. First, let us see the monetary measures. These monetary measures will be adopted by the central bank of a country. First is increase in the bank rate. Under this, increase under the monetary measures. The first one is the increase in bank rate. Bank rate means the interest rate at which RBI lends money to the domestic banks. Increase in bank rate leads to increase in deposit rate and increase in the lending rate. When there is increase in the rate of interest for the loans will increase, it discourages businessmen and consumers to take loans. And so because of this, money supply will be controlled. Hence, the controlled supply of money reduces the inflationary pressure in the economy. Next is open market operation. Open market operation means open market operation. Open market operation means sales and purchase of government and private securities and bonds by the central bank. Government securities, bonds and debentures with certain maturity period are issued by a government to raise the fund necessary to pay for its expenses. Sale of securities in the open market helps to regulate the inflation. Higher cash reserve ratio and statutory liquidity ratio. According to RBI Act of 1924, all commercial banks required to keep certain percentage of their time and demand deposits with RBI. So that is known as cash reserve ratio. So when the cash reserve ratio is higher, it reduces the amount for lending. So when the amount for lending decreases means the investment or the lending purpose of the banks will decrease. When the lending amount is decreased means the investment also will decrease. Tool for the RBI, it is a tool for the RBI to control the amount that banks lend, that is to control the liquidity in the banking system and the country. Now let us see about SLR. Statutory liquidity ratio is the minimum percentage of deposits that a commercial bank has to maintain in the form of liquid cash, gold or other securities. SLR was prescribed by Section 24 of Banking Regulation Act 1949. When there is an increase in the SLR, banks should keep more in their own deposit, so the money supply will decrease. Consumer credit control. Consumer credit control is an important tool of the monetary policy used by RBI to control the demand and supply of money and flow of credit in an economy. Higher margin requirements. It refers to the difference between the current value of the security offered for loan, that is the collateral security, and the actual loan granted by the banks. It is one of the qualitative credit control method. In case of inflation, the margin requirement is increased so that the demand for loans are decreased. The last one is the higher repo rate and the reverse repo rate. The rate at which commercial banks borrows from RBI by mortgaging their securities is known as repo rate. When there is increase in the repo rate, banks will borrow only less amount of money. It will control the investment. A reverse repo rate means the rate at which RBI borrows from commercial banks. If it is increased, banks will lend more money to RBI than to the public. So it will reduce the circulation of money in the economy. Now let us see the fiscal measures to control inflation. Fiscal measures are highly effective for controlling government expenditure, personal consumption, and private and public investment. So the fiscal policy is now recognized as an important instrument to tackle the inflationary situation. The major anti-inflationary fiscal measures are reduction in unnecessary government expenditure. When there is reduction in the government expenditure means it leads to less demand from government side for the people. It lowers the price level. Increase in direct taxes. When there is an increase in the taxation, it reduces the disposable income of the people. When there is reduction in the disposable income, means their consumption pattern and the demand will reduce. The last one is the surplus budget. Surplus budget means the expenditure will be less than the revenue. So it reduces the money supply. It leads to less government's demand. Other measures. Under the other measures, we have short-term measures and long-term measures. Let us see the short-term measures. Short-term measures can be in regard to public distribution of scarce essential commodities, that is through fair price shops or rationing. In India, whenever there is shortage of basic goods, it is to be controlled through the rationing only. And long-term measures. Some restrictions on present consumption may help in improving saving and investment, which may be necessary for increasing the rate of economic growth in the long period. Next is deflation. Deflation occurs when prices are declining over time. It is just opposite condition of inflation. When the inflation rate is negative, the economy is in a deflationary period. Deflation makes money relatively more valuable than the other goods in the economy. Let us see the reasons for deflation. During the inflation period, the government withdraws or it controls the money supply. Second one is government imposes heavy direct taxes or takes heavy loans from the public. Central bank sells the securities and bonds of the government as well as the private institutions in open market. Central bank controls the credit money and adopt various measures such as increase in cash reserve ratio, credit rationing and direct action. The central bank increases the bank rate. State of overproduction takes place in the economy. Measures for checking deflation. So to increase money supply, to promote credit creation by banks, curtailment in taxes so as to increase the purchasing power of the people, to increase the public expenditure and to increase the employment opportunities in the economy, to increase the money supply in circulation by repayment of public debt, to provide economic subsidy by the government to the industrial sector of the economy. Disinflation. Disinflation may be defined as the process of reversing inflation without creating unemployment or reducing output in the economy. Disinflation is the slowing down the rate of inflation by controlling the amount of credit available to consumers without causing more unemployment. Stagflation. Stagflation is a combination of stagnant economic growth, high unemployment, and high inflation. It may occur because of inappropriate macroeconomic policies. Next, let us see about trade cycles. The economic activity in a capitalist economy will have its periodic ups and downs. The study of the ups and downs is called the study of business cycle or trade cycle or industrial fluctuation. A trade cycle refers to oscillations in aggregate economic activity, particularly in unemployment, output, income, etc. Here I have given two definitions of trade cycle. Causes of business cycle or causes of trade cycle. Under the causes of business cycle, we have internal factors and external factors. Under internal factors, consumption, business investments, and government activity. First, let us start with consumption. When consumer spending increases, business activities will increase production. It leads to entrepreneurs to provide more employment opportunities and purchase more materials and capital goods. When consumer spending decreases, the opposite situation will occur. Business investment. The purchasing of capital goods increases the number of jobs in the economy because people have to produce those goods. If investment increases, the economy will grow. If investment decreases, the economy will contract. Government activity. The government can influence the business cycle through fiscal policy, that is, its tax and spending policies, and monetary policy, that is, the control of money supply in the economy. Now, let us see about the external factors. Under external factors, the first one is invention and innovation. Major changes in technology can influence the business cycle. Usually, technological changes move the economy in a positive direction, but this is not always so. War and political events. The impact of such events on the economy are very fact specific. Let us see the phases of trade cycle. The four different phases of trade cycle is referred to: boom, recession, depression, and recovery. The same thing is explained in the diagram. Now, let us see the four phases one by one. First is boom or prosperity phase. During this period, there is hectic activity in the economy. The full employment and the movement of the economy beyond full employment is characterized as boom period. Now, let us see what will happen during the boom period. See, already we had seen that during the boom period, the beyond full employment situation arises. When there is full employment situation means the wages of the workers will rise. When there is increase in their income, the demand for the commodities will increase. When there is increase in the demand, automatically the price will increase. When there is increase in the prices, the profits of the entrepreneurs will increase. So they have chances to invest more in the production process. When there is more investment, it leads to increase in employment, income, and trade. So the economy has overall prosperity. Now let us see the recession. The turning point from boom condition is called recession. In this stage, most business enterprises fail, prices collapse, and unemployment increases. Now, let us see the condition of recession. See, in the first phase, we had seen there is an increase in the demand during boom period. So, because of the increase in the demand for the commodities, it brings less efficient means of production in the economy. So, because of the less efficient means of production, money market becomes costlier. Demand for loans pushes up, it increases the interest rate. When the interest rate increases, the amount of investment started to decrease. When the investment rate decreases means the cost of production goes up, and because of the increase in the cost of production, the price rise. Once again, it leads to it started a period of depression. Let us see about depression. During depression, the level of economic activity becomes extremely low. During this period, business activity in the country will be much below the normal level. Extreme point of depression is called trough because it is a deep point in the business cycle. Under the depression period, the price level falls. So, because of this, the producers will not produce more because their profit level will become less at the less price level. So, they will reduce the production. When there is reduction in the production means the unemployment increases. Because of the unemployment problem, the income of the workers will become zero. So their purchasing power decreases. Demand for the commodities also will decrease. It leads to less productive activity in the economy, and the stocks whatever already produced also will accumulate in the economy. So Keynes advocated that autonomous investment of the government alone can help the economy to come out from depression. Next stage is recovery. After a period of depression, recovery sets in. This is a turning point from depression to revival towards upswing. The recovery may take place because of the following reasons: new government expenditure, investment in new areas, innovation, changes in technologies of production. During the depression period, we buy only the consumer goods, and because of this the durable goods remain unsold. These durable goods either get consumed or become outdated, so purchase of goods again become necessary because of the revival in the economy. So producers purchase these goods, and because of that production is encouraged. When production is increased, it leads to increase in the employment and demand for consumer goods as well as the capital goods. So because of the increase in the demand for consumer and capital goods, the producers will produce more amount of consumer as well as producer goods. So it leads to once again full employment in the economy. Thank you.